My dad tossed me his valet ticket at his retirement gala. I owned the hospital his favorite son worked for. My family has always measured human worth by titles and zip codes. If it doesn't command immediate subservience, you are nothing. My older brother, Julian, mastered that game. He's a plastic surgeon living in a glass mansion. My father worships the ground he walks on. I am the disappointment. The one who drives a scratched Ford F-150 and lives in a minimalist loft. I wear steel-toed boots to family brunches, and my father once told me I smelled like industrial bleach. He wasn't entirely wrong. I own a biohazard disposal monopoly. I handle medical waste across 14 states. I started with one used truck. Today, my company clears $80 million in annual revenue. I don't discuss it. Every time I tried, they treated it like a joke. Julian once asked if I found any cool syringes in the trash, and my father laughed until he cried. Last Saturday was my father's retirement banquet at the Oak Creek Country Club. Halfway through dinner, Dad stood up to give a toast. He didn't talk about his career. He talked about Julian. He beamed at the crowd. Julian is opening a massive new surgical wing at Vanguard General. He's building a legacy. He looked at Julian like a deity. Julian smirked, swirling his scotch. Then, my father looked down the table at me. The microphone was still on. And Elias, Dad chuckled, his voice echoing. Well, Elias makes sure the dumpsters are emptied on time. Maybe one day you'll learn a thing or two from your brother about ambition. Julian leaned across the table. Don't be too hard on the garbage man, Dad. Society needs janitors. That's when the real bombshell dropped. I put my fork down. Ambition, I repeated, my voice dead level. Is that what we're calling federal fraud now? The ballroom went entirely silent. Julian's smirk froze. Excuse me? My father snapped. Heat climbed my neck and my vision blurred, but my voice remained ice cold. I don't empty dumpsters, Dad. I own Vanguard General. My holding company bought out their massive debt 3 days ago, which means I spent my entire morning reviewing the executive audits. I stared into Julian's terrified eyes. Do you want to explain why you've been billing Medicare for ghost surgeries, Julian? Or should I read the federal indictment my legal team is filing on Monday? Julian went chalk white. His scotch glass shattered on the hardwood floor. That's a lie, my father hissed. You drive a pickup truck. You're a trash collector. I drive a truck because I don't need a Maserati to validate my existence. I snapped back. I employ 3,000 people, and as of this morning, I am your golden boy's boss. He embezzled $2 million to pay for that glass mansion. Julian stood up violently. Elias, please, he whispered, his arrogant swagger evaporating into pure panic. We're blood. You can bury the audit. You can make this go away. My father grabbed my arm, digging into my jacket. You have to protect him. If you have this kind of power, you have to save him. I looked at the two men who had spent my life making me feel small. I didn't feel the need to prove my worth anymore. I just felt profound disgust. I didn't expose him to earn your respect, Dad, I said, prying his fingers off my sleeve. I exposed him to burn his pedestal to the ground. I turned to Julian. Clean out your locker by midnight. I walked out without looking back. Let them keep the country club. I owned the land it was built on anyway.